Welcome, everybody, to the Cast from the Coast. My name is Adam Miles, and I'm joined, as always, by Josh Lambert and Tim Johnson. What are we talking about tonight, Tim?
We are going to talk about another movie that was made here in Nova Scotia, Halloween Party.
Stay tuned. Give us the synopsis, Tim.
A college student unwittingly releases terrifying entries from her school's past via a Halloween-themed computer meme.
All right. First off, I'm just going to say it about the story. I was quite excited to see this. Another local, production, local talent.
Was it full?
No, it was about half. It was about half mast.
Fluctuating, like it was moving?
It was kind of like twitching. It was
Fluttering.
fluttering. It was fluttering. But yeah, it was fluttering to half. To half, not above. Two. All right. So, couple things right off the bat about the story. I didn't know, obviously, you don't know until you get into the actual movie itself, the significance of the name. When the namesake of the actual movie, happens, I was fucking pretty tickled pink over that. I did like that. I thought that was pretty fucking dope. But leading up to it, there were a couple of things that kind of bothered me just a little bit about the story. But all in all, it wasn't enough to make me shit on the movie by any means. So I'm just, without getting into my rating of the movie, obviously, because that's for later, I didn't hate this movie. And the story itself was okay. The director, Jay Dahl, basically, when I was talking to him on Facebook about this, and we got access to a copy of the movie so that we could review it, basically said it's an homage to, 90s cheese fest horrors. It's just meant to be dumb fun. Take it at that. So I did. I went into this with, just expectations of watching a full moon entertainment leprechaun type movie, a direct to video movie from the 90s that I would have went in and rented the VHS for it. And I think that's a good descriptor. I think that's a very good descriptor in a way to look at this movie. Obviously it's updated for today, so it's got a lot of character archetypes and story elements that you couldn't do back then, obviously, because it's not a retro movie. It's not like it takes place in the 80s or the 90s. It is a modern day thing. One of the big things that the story revolves around is a meme. Now, my knowledge of as to what memes are, and maybe this is because I'm almost 40 fucking years old at this point, a meme...
I know what fucking memes are.
Yeah, a meme to me is an image with something funny about it, or, you know what I mean? You got the standard memes. But, I never realized that a meme could just be a virus that's going around on the internet, some sort of an animated image or something like that does this. Am I that much of a fucking boomer, Josh? Can you help me out with that?
You really are. Meme is like a culture, man. It's not just a fucking image macro.
Okay. It basically, as it states on Google.
Tim had to go to the Google.
Dictionary defines wedding as removing weeds from a garden.
I know what a meme is. I have a 13-year-old. I know the meme culture. I get it. This is surely for information for Adam to specifically describe what a meme is.
Or how this is a meme is what I want to know.
Yes. It's an element of a culture or system of behavior that can be considered to be passed on from one individual to another by non-genetic generic means, specifically imitation.
So the fact that this is something that goes from one person to another, to another, to another, even in an automatic turn, makes it
Yeah.
therefore
Well, what do you
technically a
do
meme.
when you see a meme on Facebook?
Well,
If
of
you
course
really like it, you fucking share it,
you share it and
right?
pass it along,
Or
etc.,
you
etc.
think it's
Meme.
funny and you add your own lines.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meme, right?
Okay. So it's not just a dumb picture with an interesting subtext to it. It's
It
it's it's
is
a
that, but it's the actual the meaning behind it is it's something from culture,
okay.
society, or whatever, and it's being we just fucking described it. I'm not
All
doing
right.
anything.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to. Okay. So Adam has learned today an official meme thing. So I feel like I'm not so much of a boomer
Basically a
anymore.
joke that gets passed on. It's like an
Yeah,
inside joke.
a
Okay.
humorous image, video, piece of text, etc. That's often copied, often with slight variations,
Yeah.
and spread rapidly by internet users.
Okay.
Like
So
Adam saying he shares the same sentiments is a meme.
thank you, Josh. Thank you. All right. So that's how that correlates to this specifically. Is that it is a virus that's sharing itself, and therefore it's become a meme because people are seeing it pop up all over the place. Okay. All right. I just had to kind of make that distinction and
Wow.
correlation. So what? I'm not
Okay.
that out of touch with shit. I love memes. I just didn't understand that point of it, that exact point of it. So you know what? Whatever. Whatever.
I
You're
love the
adorable.
memes.
I'm adorable. Thank you, Tim.
You're adorable.
Adorable. All right. So it is in fact based around a meme that appears. Multiple people are getting it under mysterious circumstances, and they have to type in their greatest fear, and they have to be 100% honest about it, or else the meme does not accept it. And if they don't do it within the timer running out, then their greatest fear comes after them. Okay, sounds like a curse type of, supernatural type of story in a situation, and it begins right out the bat. So this was one of those movies that had, like, when it starts off, it jumps right into explaining a scenario. This is what's going on. The meme's there. The girl fails at it. You get the witch, and it's she gets killed by her greatest fear. And it's like 15 minutes into the movie, you finally get the title card.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. It's kind of like, you don't see that too often anymore. You know what I mean? It's like usually the title card appears in the first couple of minutes, but this was like 15 minutes in because it had to establish,
I like
you know,
that though.
that this shit was going on. Yeah, I didn't mind that. I thought that was pretty interesting. Like I said, you don't see that too often anymore.
You
So,
kind of establish the rules and stuff, and then the movie starts.
absolutely. So with that, you have, the kind of getting together of the girl who was the roommate of the first girl who dies because she failed the meme scare situation. Coming together
So, Adam,
with,
a meme is. I'm just kidding.
I was listening intently too. I was like, oh, there's more. Please enlighten me, Tim.
Gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha, bitch.
Uh,
So she comes to, she has a geek basically come to her aid, Spencer, as it is, a boy that she knows from the computer clubs by the looks of it, the guys who are in the computer lab. Uh, wow. I'm glad I got out of the IT industry after watching that part of it right specifically. I'm telling you right now.
right
Uh,
to the core. Right to the core.
right to the core. It got me. And they start looking into exactly what's going on here. So it starts to go from just something that seems like it's a harmless internet prank that's actually killing people, and you think to yourself, "Oh, somebody's like sending this out and they're like, murdering people in some way." It's like a Scream type of scenario is what you think initially. And then you start to piece things together and you realize, no, there's something of a supernatural twist to this movie, and you get the actual reveal of the namesake of the movie, the Halloween party, which, in my opinion, is the dopest part of this movie entirely. I really actually did think that was pretty damn cool. I want to know more
Because
about them.
you're led to believe the Halloween party is referring to the party at the dorm that they're all talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's coming up on Halloween. There's multiple parties that are happening, and the Halloween the frat house is getting ready for, like, as one bro said to the other, it's like, this is going to be in the Guinness Book of World Records, and they're going to talk about this for ages and stuff like this, and it's like, it's going to be like there's going to be a massacre or a slaughter at this Halloween party itself that's going to go on. Halloween
You want to
party?
know what I yelled at my screen when he said that?
What?
Shut up.
Okay.
Shut up.
I'm gonna sound and feel like a real boomer here in a second, because I'm telling you right now, the
Adam, you're too young
douchebag
for fucking boomers.
the
Shut up.
douchebag bros in this movie, are they really like
Gym
that
bros?
nowadays? Do these people
Oh,
exist?
100%. Those are gym bros.
Oh, those are gym bros. Ugh.
Those are legit character
Those are
acts.
those are those are Jonesy Rileys of Letterkenny to the next extent, man. Like, these guys were worse. Say who? Who? You. I was like, come on, man. Like, whatever. Written well enough, I guess, that the director must know a couple of these guys, or at least have gotten some input from these people or some shit, because
They filmed on Dal campus. It wouldn't be too hard to find a few. Just saying.
and I'm not sorry to any bros or dudes that are listening, by the way. Fucking, what is it? I got douche bumps watching it. Isn't that what? I got douche bumps. All right, so take a second here and just kind of talk about some of the characters that were actually in this movie. So, right off the bat, we actually have Grace, played by Amy Groening, or Groening, however that's going to be pronounced.
Groening. It's like Matt Groening.
Okay.
Who made The
So,
Simpsons.
yes, Tim. Yes, we know who Matt Groening is. So we have Grace. So Grace is the focus of this movie, because she's the one who has her roommate, Zoe, die at the hands of a pig man at the beginning of this movie. And
At Sunnyside Mall.
At Sunnyside Mall in Nova Scotia.
Canada.
And she's the one who actually pulls in the assistance of Spencer. Some Thomason. T. Thomason is all he's really credited as. I couldn't really find his full name at the time. So we have these two characters that kind of become really close throughout the movie. They're kind of Scooby-Doo mystery team, solving this thing as they go, picking up the pieces and putting it all together. But we also
Will they fuck couple?
the will they fuck couple. That was actually fun. I did enjoy that. The little descriptor as to that. We also have the doctors, who are part of the original story to the actual the Halloween party as it is. Jeremy Ackerman playing Dr. Arthur McCall, and then we have Shelley Thompson playing Dr. Barbara McCall. I love the fact that her name is Barbara in this.
Fucking Barb.
Fucking Barb. I love Barb.
What was it that Barb's whatchamacallit sucked?
Skull of potatoes.
Potatoes, yeah. Yeah, they're fucked, yeah.
Barb, your skull of potatoes are fucked.
They're fucked.
The other doctor's a Trailer Park Boy alumni too,
Yeah, that's fucking, what's his name?
That isn't the guy who's, like, always, like, in his fucking robe.
Judge.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the judge. Okay.
Well, in one season he was a actual lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was like, I only got one left. Smokes, let's go.
If I can't swear and drink in court, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then in the later seasons, he plays a judge. Yeah. So 2 Trailer Park Boy alumni in one movie.
And they're married to each other.
I didn't know that.
Well, just in the movie. They're not married in real life, are they?
Yeah, no. I just mean in the movie.
Just in the movie, yeah, they're together. So, okay. Josh, we're gonna jump right in here for a moment. I want to hear some notes from you.
Okay. My first viewing of Halloween Party took place October 13th, 2020 at 7:14 p.m. Jesus Murphy, they got a roofie party and an HIV negative joke in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they follow that up with vaginal spiders.
Mm-hmm.
She's got to be fucking with this other girl about the pig people. Like, there's no way. Like, she's describing this story, and it's like she's just fucking with her. And then it turns out she wasn't. And for fuck's sakes, the pig people jump scare got me. Did you guys get got with the pig people scare?
No.
I did. It got me.
You mean the one where he jumps at the camera?
Yeah, it
No.
got me. Startled me.
Okay.
Oh, neat. It's filmed in the Sunnyside Mall. These computer nerds are actually really funny, and the comedy is actually on point in this movie so far. Last year at the Shit the Bed party.
That's a total Nova Scotian thing to say, by the way.
Love
Shit the
it.
bed. Shit the bed.
The will they fuck conversation.
Mm-hmm.
See you later, crocodile. He's like a real life Biff, where he just gets all the things wrong.
Make it like a tree and get out of here.
Get out of here. Douche bumps.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent quote. The tall man. Fuck right off. They're talking about their greatest fear, and this guy's greatest fear is the tall man. And I'm watching this, and while I'm watching it, I'm messaging the group. I'm like, guys, I think Angus Scrimm is going to be in this movie. They're talking about the tall man. If he
No, just
says boy, I'm done. What did you do, Pardeep? When the fucking kid walks into the room, and
they
he's
blame him right
freaking
off the
out.
bat.
Comical. Yes, this is a library. Of course, you can borrow it. Like, the comedy on this is excellent. It's the judge from the Trailer Park Boys. If I can't smoke and drink, I'm fucked episode. Okay, at this point, vagina spiders are definitely going to happen. They've brought it up like 8 times. Bears. This guy is Dwight Schrute. His greatest fear is bears.
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 It's Dr. Barbara as Barb. This movie has a shoestring budget, ? And Adam kind of alluded to this when we were first talking about it. That it was very independent and kind of low on the budget score, which
Yep.
really surprised me this far because, you know, everything seemed really good at this point. I'm finding that very hard to believe. Whatever teenagers do with computers, ... They did a really good job of making modern awkward social issues in this film. Not wanting to make phone calls, not being able to look the doctor in the eyes. These are, like, this is one of the first movies I think I've seen set in the real modern era,
It's
where
true.
that's just normal. Hey, a Nova Scotia flag in the background. And I
Woo!
know Tim cheered.
All right.
Oh shit, what's Spencer's fear? Zombie balloon kids. Bro, don't shit with the door open. Quote, do you want me to throw a brown potato straight from the cooker?
I will, straight from the cooker. Oh, man.
I wrote, what the fuck was that effect? So, the smiler coming up under the toilet, I really disliked that effect. I really disliked that fucking shitty CGI. I wish they would have just done a prosthetic, but... Garbage Jenga. This movie is too real. Afternoon nap in a bath. This girl knows how to live. Take it down a notch, Greg. Looks like this was filmed all at the Dal University campus. The CG effects for me are very unsettling. In this 10-armed Halloween party, when's the 10-armed Halloween party guy gonna start coming over? He's I refer to him as Spider-Man because he's got like 10 arms and he crawls around like a spider. These actors swear like East Coasters. Oh shit, I hope no one's greatest fear is a plane crash. Really unfortunate they had to end with that bad CGI. I mean, there's really no excuse for not getting a bear from Oaklawn Farm. And some practical spiders wouldn't have been that hard.
But hey, we got
Those are my
vagina.
notes for
But hey,
Halloween Town.
we got vagina spiders at the end. I mean, where else did the
Did you
spiders come from?
though?
But where did they come from then?
Yeah, Josh.
Where
think
did the
about
bear come from?
Fucking vagina bears.
Vagina.
I don't know. Vagina bears. All right, thank you, Josh. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I am Fabio Frizzi, and you are listening to Daycast from the Coast.
So, we'll talk a little bit about the special effects here now, because a big part of the special effects, and this is why I didn't get too far into the latter part of the story to kind of talk about it too much more, is because I wanted to kind of wait until we talked a little bit about the special effects, and Josh's notes kind of really bridge us to that a bit. So, the majority of the special effects take place towards the latter part of this movie, and that's when we get a mixture of some practical and some CGI, some decent CGI, some kind of iffy and unwanted CGI is what I'm going to say. But the whole idea, and I mentioned it earlier here, so for anybody listening, obviously, the namesake of the movie, the Halloween Party, is a name that's given to a group of children that were born with various different deformities. People that were born with them and live a certain length in life. That, yeah, they basically called them the Halloween Party, and I thought it was, you know, in terms of a horror movie, that's pretty fucking dope. Kind of like a lore type of, naming convention and stuff like that as it goes. I thought that was pretty cool. the the effects that were used for the characters, there was one that stood out the most to me because he was the most practical of all of them, was the Inside Out Bag Man. And he actually kind of reminded me a little bit of like Frank from Hellraiser meets, and me and Josh were talking about this earlier, the Torso from like 13 Ghosts. You know,
The
it's kind of
whole
like,
group kind of remind me of like the 13 Ghosts. Like there's 5 different of these kind of each unique, weird individuals. You got the Bagman, you got Smiley, you got Spider-Man.
you got the one with the,
Spider-Man.
you got the one with like the mouths for eyes and shit, and
Yeah.
you got all, you know, all the different creature characters. So there was some practicality to some of these characters, but then there was a lot of CGI. Josh brought up a good point. Like there was a CGI, the Smiler coming out of the toilet. I know it's easy to toss CGI on something, you know, boom, and you know, get it in post and type of thing. But that was a real missed opportunity to actually have like a really good, you know, prosthetic piece face staring up at somebody out of the toilet, right? I mean, you're already got this guy dropping a deuce, like he's spending like 10 minutes like with his pants down around his ankles in the actual movie. Might as well just, you know, put an actual practical piece there, you know, staring up at him.
He's the
Right.
gym bro, man. All that creatine and stuff, it blinds you out.
Bind you up, bind you up. What I thought was funny about that scene too is that the fact that he was actually complaining about possibly having to finally shut the door when he's taking a dump. He's like, "What do you mean I got to start shutting the door now?" He's like, he's pissed off that he has to have privacy. I don't understand that, but I'm not a gym bro that lives in a frat house, so whatever. The like I said, the characters themselves for the Halloween Party were very cool in concept. And you know, and for the most part looked really cool. The old footage was really cool. I could see some very unfinished CGI in some of it though. At one point when they're actually watching the projector, the girl puts up her hand and it totally disappears behind the actual image that's projecting. And like she puts up her hand and it's like her hand goes behind the image that's projecting. So I'm like, okay, so they weren't really watching something and filming it. They actually just totally CGI'd the footage over top of that. I could tell that right off the bat. So there was a couple of things like that were unnecessary. Like to me, even if you projected it with a digital projector and just had that fake projector there, You know what I mean? Showing off something, right? That it would have looked a lot better to have something like that going, but you know, win some, lose some. Go down to the fact, and I had to discuss this with Josh because the one thing that I was actually a little bit backed off about with this was I understood that Spencer's fear, which they made him lose the game or the meme, so to speak, his fear was the Halloween party. But I didn't quite catch on that his fear was the Halloween party was going to come and kill everybody. So when the Halloween party started kind of appearing and killing everybody but him, or it was coming for him, but everybody else was becoming victimized too, I didn't quite catch why. I was like, what's this? What's the spark that's making these characters now come out of the woodwork and just murder anything? So Josh kind of put the two and two together for me, where he's like, no, is that they come out and kill people? Like, you know, they're coming for everybody. So that was pretty cool. The ending was a total riff on Wreck for me. When they were in the fucking they were in that hideaway area, and they were using like the infrared and the night vision, the green light, and they were trying to see what was going on. It was totally like I was watching the end of the movie Wreck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were trying to figure out what was going on and try to see what was in the dark and shit. So, you know, that was okay. But yes, as Josh stated, right to the very end, spiders. Okay, I could have forgiven the CGI spiders, but then the weird bear.
The
Okay.
spiders look 2D. Like, they look weird.
They moved too fast and they didn't have shadows on them.
Yeah,
That's what it
look
looked like
weird.
to me. Like it was like there was no shadow being cast underneath them, right? Like it was literally just a image of a spider drug around.
Yeah.
It might as well have been pixel art at that point. You know what I mean? Like it was just it was there, CG. Oh man. So anything to add about the special effects, guys? Talk about the special effects. What did you like?
There
What
was
did you not
one
like?
scene where she's in the bathroom and she's smashing at the floor, and those chattery teeth coming up through the floor, I thought looked dope. Like it was like they sped up something.
It was
And
very
she was like,
Cenobite-ish.
yeah. Like I like that, and then it just stopped. There was a
Yeah.
flashlight, and it just stopped. But I don't know. I mean, it just this movie could have been so much better if it had like practical effects.
Yeah, if it had, like, a good effects team behind it, like Phantom
Like,
Effects or, you know,
yeah, you know,
one of the
just
other
so that
amazing
there's
Nova Scotian
100%.
houses that they could have hired. But,
Patrick Baxter, big time fucking special effects artist. You know what I mean?
don't
But
worry
no.
about it. We'll just put a CGI fucking bear.
Yeah.
And I mean, I see the fact that, you know, there was. I can see what the director and the writer were trying to do. They really did try to
Absolutely.
make something fun out of this, etc., etc. Is this a perfect movie? No. By any means, no. Was it fun? Hey, you know what? I'm happy that I watched it. You know, I'm definitely, you know, happy that I watched it and stuff, but it's like there were some shortcomings in the special effects. Being a fan of horror and the fact that too much horror hits the web and hits video nowadays, that just it's like they spend the money somewhere, but it wasn't special effects. They tried to do special effects, but it's like they didn't spend the money on the special effects. You know what I mean?
Well,
It
they spent
kind of hits
money on
me in the
getting Barb.
kind of hits me in the heart. You know what I mean? Because like just a couple of dollars more, hell, kickstart it for all I care. You know what I mean? And you could have had something really decent for you know certain things, or taking that extra month to get certain CGI tones right. You know what I mean? To make it a little bit better. I mean, because, and I'll give it some credit. There are mainstream horror movies that have fucking shitty special effects in it. That don't look as good as even what was in this movie. To be honest,
I know you're not talking about Lake Placid 3, but
maybe Lake Placid versus
CGI in that
Anaconda.
is astonishing.
Astonishing. Lake Placid versus Anaconda, or one of the Sharknadoes, or some shit. Whatever. Right? Movies with bigger
The
budget.
acting was really good. I really thought the acting was great. I just wish that they had a practical effects artist on set. And
Very
you can
true.
tell that they did some, because, like, the pig people at the start, that effect was awesome. Like, I loved how it was like a layered mask. Like, it looked like they had a really nice silicone mask, and then like the fake kind of like pig snout on the front. And then it seemed like the further you got into the movie, the more effects came CG.
Which is why I think, like I said, and I'll go back to it, I really had an affinity more so for the Bagman.
Yeah,
Because it
like
was,
he was practical.
he was practical and it was cool, and the chattering effect like Tim's talking about through the door or whatever,
It was
and
the floor or whatever.
the floor or whatever, yeah,
Or door or
and
whatever.
and I really liked when she was in the tub and she looks over and it's the shower glass and he kind of leans down.
Yeah.
I was like, I totally, like I said, I totally got an actual like Cenobite type vibe from that character being around, or like a 13 Ghosts type of vibe, right? So that was pretty cool. I wanted more like that.
Yeah, even the spider dude with like all the arms, I think he was mostly practical.
You know what? There was that one. There was a couple of the scenes with him like in the bed, and it really did look like it was just like a bunch of people probably huddled up with their arms and shit hanging out, which was cool. Like, however you're gonna do it, that's pretty cool. Like, it didn't look so bad for sure.
No.
I gotta tell you, this is the kind of thing that, you know, I hope that the director and the writer, you know, I don't want to say
It's the same guy.
Jay, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that this is the kind of thing that maybe there's like a better story in this universe that can be told with some better practical effects. You know what I mean? Like a return to the Halloween party type of situation where there's more to the lore, or there's other characters that exist for the Halloween party. Like, that would be pretty cool. Like, it was almost there. It was almost there. I think it just needed to kind of gestate a little bit more with certain things.
I was expecting there to be like a twist, like there was still one of the Halloween party living somewhere, and they were kind of like the ones that made the virus or whatever, but that's not the case.
No, and I guess the twist itself was, as revealed by Barb, that it wasn't that you needed to set them free to stop the curse. It's that, oh my gosh, you set them curse, you set them free, you set the curse free by actually releasing them out of there and stuff like that. And,
you fool!
You fool! It was there to protect us. So, you know.
I don't know. It was fun for what it was. I just wish the effects were better. I think Joss Whedon did it better, because there's an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer with pretty much the exact same premise. But...
Okay. Fair enough. Is there any trivia about this movie, Tim?
Nope.
All right, so there's no trivia about this, and we didn't get anything come in from the director on this either. He just kind of.
I got it. It was filmed. It was filmed here in Halifax.
Wait! Stop, Tim.
Okay,
stop.
Go ahead.
Trivia time with Tim. Go.
It was filmed here in Nova Scotia, and so on. I got one more piece.
Starred Barb from Trailer Park Boys.
Shelley Thompson and Jeremy Ackerman both played in the Trailer Park Boys alongside each other in this. And Shelley Thompson both played a Barbara in both series.
True.
Ooh, Barbara and Barb. Right.
You want to tell the people what Shelley's takeaway role was in Labyrinth that Adam just learned about?
I just learned about that.
Oh, that fucking Shelley Thompson was the mom in Labyrinth?
Yeah, I didn't know that at all.
Wow. I remember watching it not too long, and I'm like, oh my god, it's Barb!
Oh, so you only really learned about that something not that long ago yourself, but I just learned about it literally this week.
No, it's like when the Trailer Park, probably like
10 years ago.
All right,
like
everybody. All right, Adam.
Everybody
the boomer
knew
again.
what Adam.
All right, fine. All right, gentlemen. Instead of beating the horse, to death on this one, what I want to do is I want to go around and I want to give our final reviews. So feel free to speak your heart out, obviously, as we normally do about these movies, and give it a rating. And tonight, I'm going to start with Tim.
That's the mood.
Well, if I'm being honest, this movie
We
was kind of.
expect you to.
It was. I see where he was going with it. It absolutely at points reminded me of like a mid '90s Scream, Note You Did Last Summer kind of vibe of a movie. Um, let me just do it this way. What I liked about it, the cinematography was top notch. I really dug the cinematography and just the look and vibe of this movie. The acting, believe it or not, was really good.
Yep.
Like I wasn't like cringed or anything. Like everybody, like aside from the real like archetype type of characters, like the dude boys or whatever they were, the dude bros, right? Like everybody played their part and they did it well. And the main Chicky Poo Grace, she was great. Like there was no real bad acting in it. The bad. I agree with you guys. Should have been more practical effects. A lot of the practical effects would have been very easily done, probably easier than doing CG. Um, like it was just, it was funny. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't very scary.
No.
I feel like I've seen this movie before. Like the script was pretty meh. Like it's been done. Like and it's been done better.
Like, there's literally a Buffy the Vampire episode, which is the exact same premise. The demon gets summoned, which brings your greatest fears to life.
Yeah. Thanks.
In a
Josh.
fraternity house.
This is my part. This is my
In a
section.
fraternity house.
Um, I just feel like this movie had a lot of promise. Um, and it wasn't horrible. It wasn't like I what a waste of time. I just wish that it was better. I wish that the special effects were better. Um, it was fun. Like I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. Like I'm just kind of like, yeah, it was cool. What are we watching next? Um, I don't know. Like there was points where I was bored. The phone came out. I was looking at actors that are in it and what else were they in and trying to find trivia. There's no trivia. Like it's just it was okay. Um, so my rating, I am going to give this based. Okay, so I really want to give it a G. It's good, but I'm going to give it a PG. That is going to be my rating because the cinematography was really good, the acting was good, and I have a very, very sweet spot for things filmed in Nova Scotia.
Okay.
And those three things, it gets a PG.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Tim.
Very nice.
And then I shall go next. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this movie. I went into this movie with no expectation, to be honest, because it was a low budget independent film. Now, when I asked the director to see the movie, because I was like, "Hey, filmed in Nova Scotia," I seen the trailer come up. A bunch of people that I'm friends with on Facebook were in the movie, bit parts here and there, and everything was cool about it. And I was like, "Okay, I want to see this. Any chance we can get access to see the movie?" Bam! The guy was real cool about it. Handed off a copy of the movie. Said, "Go right ahead, guys." Very similar to what Eric said about Butterfly Kisses. Here's what it is about the movie. I stand by the movie. Cool. All right, let's talk about this movie. Got to give him credit for that, right? Because he's proud of it, and that's fine. I'd be proud of it too if I pulled off an entire movie. So just like what we said before, and Josh has stated this before, he made a movie. He accomplished that. He got a movie from beginning to end, finished. It's out, distribution. It's on Amazon Prime. Everything's going about this. You know what, Jay? Hats off to you, buddy. Hats off to you.
If it's on Amazon Prime, why did we get a screener?
It's a rental still on Amazon Prime, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
So The acting definitely was good. I liked it. The characters that I was supposed to hate, I hated. I got the douche bumps. Right? That's the kind of thing to it, right? The archetypes were all there. The characters that I was supposed to hate, I hate. The characters I was supposed to like, I like. The dialogue was really well written. It didn't seem forced. It was all natural conversation, and a lot of it was very truly East Coast in the way that it came out and the discussions that happened. And being a geek and a nerd myself, the actual geek and nerd conversations were hilarious too. So I did enjoy all of that. The idea and the lore behind the actual Halloween party itself, dope. Liked it. That was really cool. Yeah, it might have been something that we've seen a million times before. This is that kind of a situation. But you know what? Still cool. Still cool. I liked it. And the originality behind some of the characters that were there and exactly the purpose behind the naming convention, stuff like this, it's stuck with me. I thought it was really cool. You're right though. Where this movie starts to fall is the fact that there was some good practical effects. So when you did see some practicality, it was good.
It's good.
It was good. But when you seen the CGI, there was only one or two little things with CGI that I was okay with. But then the vast majority of it was like unnecessarily done. Or done in a way when you're looking at it saying, I know it was probably easier to pull off CGI for that. Let's just do it in post. But taking that extra, couple of days to get something practical pulled together would have definitely have benefited this movie a lot more, in my opinion. That would have probably given me quite a bit better of a score than I'm going to give the movie, as if this had practicality to it, to be honest. That's where it's going to kind of falter. Overall, can't say I didn't hate the movie. Or can't say I hated the movie. I didn't hate the movie. I did not.
No.
It was definitely, I might want to revisit it at one point in the future, but, I'm not looking to sit down and watch it a second time right away by any means. And I will continue to support this kind of an effort coming out of Nova Scotia. And Jay, if you're watching, I am looking forward to what you come up with next. I want to see some more stuff from you because, as Tim said, cinematography was on point. Editing was well done. There was a couple of things that I was looking at it saying, like at the beginning, why is he spending literally 5 seconds looking at a light before it goes off? So some of the edits and the cuts, I was kind of like having some editing and filming background myself. I was kind of looking at it saying, too much of a cat in the window. You know what I mean? That's too much of a filler going on here. But all in all, I can't wait to see more stuff that comes out from you, Jay. So in terms of that, though, I am going to give this movie a PG. This movie would have probably been a recommended if there was more practical effects in this movie that wasn't just necessarily CGI thrown in there to get the job done. And that's how it kind of felt with the CGI. Just get the job done. Practical effects. We're horror fans. That's where our money's going to go. That's where our mind is going to go because that's what we're starving for. And once again, Josh brought this up earlier, and it's a good point. When you actually have an amazing group, Aaron Peerless from Phantom Effects, who exists all but 45-minute drive away from the city, that can pull off this kind of stuff with a pretty slick look to it, there's no real excuse to dump the money into CGI. There really isn't. So I give it a PG. It's basically a 3 out of 5. That's not a shit score by any means. I still say, this movie's going to have a following. People are going to love it. People are going to watch it. It's Halloween time by the time that this was being released, so people are actually watching it for Halloween. Go out and enjoy it, people.
Well, that was my point. I didn't hate it. It didn't suck. Like, I wasn't like, fuck this movie. It was just, it was like, man, you crafted this story, you spent the time to make it, spend the time to do the special effects right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. And you know what? I say that with all due respect. It's because that's, as a horror fan, that's what I want. And that's where my score is going to go the highest. Josh.
I loved the comedy in this fucking movie.
Yeah.
The writers that did this, fucking gold, buddy. Gold. And comedy in horror is a big part for me. This movie's not scary. We've established that.
No.
There's a couple jump scares, one of which did get me, and it gave me the old jolt.
Adorable.
right?
Adorable.
There's a couple of good practical effects, like the pig man, the spider guy, the bag man. These were all done excellently. Um, it's a very 13 Ghost vibe, where each one of these kids in the Halloween party has like their own kind of thing that makes them scary. And again, like everyone else is saying, this film drops off on the practical effects aspect when you get further into it. So the spiders at the end look 2D. They just looked out of place. The bear, fucking Oaklawn Farm would definitely let you film a bear. They got handlers. They got all kinds of stuff they'll put on set. You give them some donation or whatever for their ligers. Let them fucking film a bear.
For their ligers.
I don't know. The weird toilet smiley girl was jarring. It just didn't look right. And then you went to fucking wreck green screen first person, can't tell what's going on. That's when I was checking my phone. That's when I was looking to see, okay, what else was this person in? Oh, okay, this this and this. Oh, no trivia. Okay. Um, with all this being said, I really liked this movie. I did, and I think I liked it more than what you guys did, because I was considering an R, and then looking at the fact that it's in Nova Scotia, the fact that it would keep that place for me, and the practical effects, I could kind of give a slide on the fact that it's kind of shoestring budget. I get it, and the most important thing is you made a fucking movie. Like, that's almost impossible nowadays to get a fucking movie made. Like, the amount of time and effort and people and money and all this bullshit that goes into making a movie and getting it produced and launching it and doing the effects work and all this, but you just, at the end of the day, the effects were dropped. That's where the ball was dropped, on the visual effects, because I'm sure they just wanted at that point to get the movie done. Um, Someone wrote into it the bear at the end, and that's fucking hysterical. Again, it's that callback, and this whoever wrote this should be writing comedies. Don't worry about writing horror, because that causes to do effects. Go write some fucking rom-coms or something. You'll make tons of money, because I tell you, you got a comedic brain. And I think I'll settle this movie out and I recommend it, because I want people to go watch it. But I gotta let you know, you dropped the fucking ball with the visual effects. And had this not been made in Nova Scotia, you definitely wouldn't have got an R from me.
Good point. Good point. So, a big thing about that. So, as we've established, Jay was actually the writer as well as the director on this. I mean, he did good. He did good writing. What it really comes down to, too, one of the conversations that I had with Jay, like he said, it's harder and harder to get money to make horror films, even though they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's weird. They make a lot of money, but just people don't invest into them. It's the weirdest thing. So this is good though. I mean, here we go. We're repping, East Coast horror. We're repping from Nova Scotia. This is what we like to do. We know we've done it multiple times already, and we're going to continue to do that. So, you know, by any means, this is not a shit review of this movie. It's a full out R from Josh. It's PGs from me and Tim. We still say, if you get the chance to check it out, check it out.
Pretty good.
Just on the basis of the fact that it's from Nova Scotia alone, got to support the local guys. So Jay, good job to you. Congratulations on actually releasing this movie and getting it all done up.
You made a movie.
You made a movie, man.
You made a movie, man.
Hey, and if you need some podcast hosts for your next movie or some guys that just look pretty on camera, call Tim, because I'm definitely not pretty on camera. This is why this is a podcast, and the web series doesn't do as good as the podcast itself. So,
What was it that someone in your family said you were radio pretty?
Somebody,
radio.
Yeah, one of my friends, Mr. Lauren Lovelace, said that I had a face for radio, and my mother said, "You're right." So, thanks, Mom, love you, Face for radio, my friends, face for radio. So, thank you very much, everybody, for actually tuning into this episode of They Cast from the Coast, where we reviewed Halloween Party for 2020. So, thank you very much. Check us out on Facebook, Misunderstood Art Company, where we produce all of our weekly content. We're also on YouTube, Misunderstood Art Company. Like, share, subscribe, everything. Tell everybody all about us. We produce audio-only copies of this every week as well on all the major podcasting platforms, including but not limited to Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Podbean, you name it. We're everywhere, folks, and we've got all kinds of listeners all over the place, so thank you, everybody, for tuning in on those. We're also on Patreon. Open up your hearts and your wallets. Join Patreon today for us and become one of our patrons. And until next time, Josh.
Bears.
Fuck. Tim.
Stay safe. Stay spooky.
I had douche bumps after Josh said that. I don't know why. So, thank you, everybody. See you next time.
Good night.